Steelers as they get set to take on the rookie, Lamar Jackson, and the Baltimore Ravens. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Randy Cotton and Charles Davis.
Coach, thanks. CA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Inner Harbor and M&T Bank Stadium here in Baltimore, Maryland. The two teams emerging from their respective tunnels a minute ago to the approval of this Baltimore crowd. They're all set. Match up with Ben Roethlisberger and the Pittsburgh Steelers. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, you look at this Raven team as they get ready here. They come in losers of 2 straight, so they're trying to right the ship here a little bit.
They're teetering a little bit, aren't they? And now things could really go south if they lose this game, so they understand the importance of playing well and stopping this streak.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Steelers, they come in on a pretty good roll here, winners of 3 straight.
And they had it easy last week. They jumped out to an early lead and then put it on cruise control from there.
Two hard-hitting blue-collar franchises, one of the better rivalries going. The Ravens and Steelers are underway. That'll be taken in the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have stayed where he was, as he'll only get back to the 16-yard line. So here come the Ravens with their first look on offense. As we get a look at a guy who grew up in Florida, played his college ball, of course, at Louisville. It's the electric Lamar Jackson.
And he did everything possible to rally his team to a win last week, didn't he? What did he throw for?
Over 450 yards.
I mean, that's a pretty phenomenal performance. So, obviously, he and the offense were clicking pretty well. The other 2/3, though, that comes into question. Defense and special teams, they'll need all of them to play better in this one, too.
Here's the first carry for Alex Collins. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
While we know that the identity of this offense is to throw the ball, they've got to run it every so often, if for no other reason than to tamp down the pass rush. They can't let them just tee off and get to their quarterback.
And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down. And we get a quick peek at the Ravens starting offense.
Out of the backfield is Alex Collins, who was claimed by the Baltimore Ravens from Seattle just prior to the season in 2017. And he took over as a lead back right around the start of October, finishing with 973 yards and giving Baltimore their identity again on offense. A run-first team that's physical.
Little trouble thus far on their opening drive as they come up on a 3rd and 11. Jackson now. That's caught by the former Sooner, Mark Andrews. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. The Ravens get a new set of downs, give them 17 on that pickup.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You get better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes. Wow, that play got shut down in a hurry.
As soon as the snap came, you could see defensively they were just closing in. That was going nowhere.
Yeah, you count on your offensive line to give you a little bit of space, a little bit of time so you can make a move. There was none there for him.
Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's third down. Now a look at the defensive starters here for the Steelers. They were very strong last week in that win over Cleveland.
In today's football, there aren't a lot of goals for defenses. But when you hold a team under 100 total yards of offense, yeah, that has to be a goal that was met. Big check mark for them in last week's game. The Steelers insert their nickel defense on third down.
Yeah, they add a DB. From the gun, it's Jackson. And this is going to be incomplete.
It's a great job by this secondary. When I watch them, they remind me of elite defenders on a basketball court, right? They want to contest each and every pass.
Great contest on third down to bring up fourth. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. Yeah, he was looking for the checkup bounce, didn't get it. That scoots all the way into the end zone now for a touchback. So the Steelers offense getting set for their first drive. Leading them out is the former first-rounder from all the way back in 2004 from Miami of Ohio, Ben Roethlisberger.
You know what I did in pregame? I made sure I touched him as he went by. I want a little bit of what he's got.
The golden arm from last week.
Oh, how much fun was that to watch that game tape, all right? The number of touchdowns, what was that, 5 last week?
Yeah.
But 0 interceptions. So you think he's due to throw a pick? But I'm betting they continues to streak in this game. Big Ben and the Steelers with a 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. And he'll get this up over the 25 to the 26. The numbers there for Connor in last week's game. 23 carries, 87 yards, and a touchdown. Well, he's the number 2 runner in the league, and you just know the offensive line wants to get him to number 1 because most of the good ball carriers, they take care of their linemen. Could be a gold watch in their future if he becomes a leading rusher. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. He lost 2 there, and it's third down. That goes down as a loss against his rushing stats. But really, should he have to absorb that one? He had no chance on that play before they overwhelmed him. Pretty much on top of him before he could take his first step. They snap it at 1. Now it's Roethlisberger. He gets it to Brown, complete. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 50 catches for him now on the year, and he's got a first down. The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it. They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. They go play action here on first down. Goes down. The Ravens able to get to him. So Darius Smith coming with pressure. He drops him on the blitz for a loss of 12. Well, we knew this guy wasn't especially fleet of foot, but he tried to conjure up some escapability, but there was no way he was getting away on that one. That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. Roethlisberger will hand to Connor, and he'll take this one up close to the 25-yard line. Terrell Suggs in on the tackle. And the big boys up front in the trenches, what do you think of the O-line, Charles? I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit. So it's 3rd and long, and defensively not a real surprise. They're in the dime. Out of the gun, it's Roethlisberger. And that is incomplete. Well, we quit counting yardage on that one, didn't we? That was truly 3rd and a mile, wasn't it? It was. I thought they might just go underneath, but they didn't. They wanted to get the first down there. Yeah, they tried to pick up the huge chunk unsuccessfully. I'm with you. I would have tried to take some yardage just to gain some field position. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. And now here come the Ravens. And still a lot of football to be played in this season. We're only in November. A lot can happen between now and January. But if it ended today, they would just be on the outside of the playoff picture looking in. So a lot to fight for. Yeah, and wasn't it interesting in our meeting with the coaching staff that they all made sure to let us know, we know where we are right now, but the playoffs don't start tomorrow. We still got some time, and they plan on putting it together formulating a streak. Got the whole month of December still left to play. They think they can get in.
And they made it very obvious to us that there's no playoff talk in the locker room right now. It's win this game and look to next week.
Excellent focus.
Off the play fake. Here's Jackson. Rolling to... He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off near the 44. And they'll start with great field position at the 41-yard line.
Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
Counter. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Eluding the pressure right. His throw incomplete. The starters now defensively for Baltimore.
Linebackers still often control defenses, and C.J. Mosley does exactly that for his. A Pro Bowler 3 of his first 4 years. Not only can he run and hit, he diagnoses plays so well, feels them out, and makes sure his team is organized and in the right spot on each and every snap.
And they get to him with the pressure as Roethlisberger goes down. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it, but it's really, really difficult. You're talking about some terrific athletes who are trying to put him on the ground.
Lamar Jackson marching back onto the field. And now let's see how the young rookie bounces back. First drive and interception. How will he handle it?
And I think this is where your leaders step up for you, right? Your veteran guys put a big arm around him. All right, guy, you had one. Don't worry about it. Let's get out there and let's roll. And I'm also eager to see what the offensive coordinator is going to do. How much confidence does he have in him? Does he go safe now, or does he continue to run the full game plan?
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing.
Interestingly, that blitz coming, and down he goes. Bud Dupree in there to sack him, and that is 10 for him now on the year.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes, and just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, the quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
Delay of game, offense.
So a penalty that can frustrate a coach so much, a mental error, and it'll back them up 5 yards. After the delay, they're backed up even further for 3rd and long.
All right, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Jackson from the shotgun. He's going deep for Brown. And he can't come up with a pick. Nearly his 2nd of the game. Instead, 4th down.
My man's getting a little loose with the football there, right? Interception before, almost had one here. He's got to start taking better care of it.
Yeah, really should have been back-to-back drives with interceptions. He's lucky there. Here's Sam Cook now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And that hits at the 6 and carries into the end zone for a touchback. The Steelers offense now, they head back onto the field. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division. Looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number 1 goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number 2 goal is win your division. Number 3 goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. On 2nd down, here's Roethlisberger. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Roethlisberger hooking up with Brown to get the Steelers at first.
As long as you go through your proper reads and progressions, the drag route can be one of those old reliable plays because usually it's good for a good chunk of yardage, as we just saw there.
And those guys like it, right? They can get the ball with a full head of steam.
Especially against man coverage, because man coverage, they're typically running away from someone and not worried about traffic coming out on the other end.
And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. And a nice gain of 21 yards. That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage. And tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
Well, that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it, all of them, they all want to be number 1.
Busting through contact. Just wasn't a huge hole there for him to operate. Stopped just inside the 35-yard line. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Again, it's Roethlisberger. Out on the right, this is Cruz. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. He'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down. A pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
And I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop. But that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch everything. So it's really hard to be mad at him and yell at him for trying to make that play.
They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
Receivers love having the reputation of being go-to guys on 3rd down. And he was fighting like he really wanted to have that reputation, didn't he? I mean, he came very close to making that a 1st down.
Broke the 1 tackle, but couldn't spring himself free. Now on 4th and inches, they're going to want to talk this over. We get a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. From here, this would have been a 48-yarder, but no, they're going to go for it. And they'll run it here. And he's got the first as they'll bring him down at the 28-yard line. Just a gain of 3, but they'll certainly take it as they convert on 4th down.
Yeah, on 4th and inches, you've got to be quick with your decision-making when you're running the football. You've got to find the hole and go. And he does a nice job here picking up the 1st down with a few yards to spare.
Got a man. It's Brown. So we've reached the end of a fairly even first quarter of play. 0-0 our score. We're back to Baltimore after this.
The NFL on EA Sports is fueled by Gatorade, the sports fuel company.
Back with Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin. It's Steeler football to begin quarter number 2. They've got it 2nd and 6 to start things out. They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. The linebacker, C.J. Mosley, in on the stop.
But that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive. And once again, they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short game.
They give him 7 yards on the play, and they do pick up the conversion on 3rd down.
I like the look that they just showed there. When you come out in a passing formation, spread things out a little bit, makes it really hard to cover the middle field, doesn't it? Because you got to go out to the perimeter and cover those guys.
Yep, exactly. Got some good blocking, too. Helped him pick up the first. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
Now a whistle, and I think a penalty here for a delay. No, they're going to say timeout. They did get the timeout in time. That's their 2nd, so they'll have 1 remaining here in this 2nd quarter. We'll be right back. From the shotgun, it's Roethlisberger. Incomplete.
Can't fault the offensive line for that incompletion at all. He had all day to throw the football. Their alarm clocks went off early today, didn't they?
Absolutely they did. He was surveying, finally let it go, but incomplete. So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. And they'll go with a ground attack here. And he's able to pick up the first before he's brought down inside the 5 at the 4. And they got 3 yards. That's enough. A conversion, and now it's 1st and goal.
And we tend to give those running backs that are slashers a lot of credit, but how about guys who are maulers? Because that's what you want in short yardage situations, and we just saw that occur right there, didn't we?
Vertical, downhill running. They just do get the play off as he'll look to throw. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. C.J. Mosley not dropping into coverage. He comes on the blitz and takes him down for a loss of 9.
They were in the top 5 in sacks in the league coming into this one. That's their 3rd one in this game. Obviously, pass rush has been a strength of this team all year long.
And apparently they're not satisfied with top 5. They want to climb that ladder.
Yeah, I think it goes back to their offseason. They decided to make it a priority, and it's working out.
So first down went in the wrong direction. They're at the 13-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal. Now Roethlisberger to throw. James has got it. Complete. Showed off the juke, but still corralled shy of the 5 at the 6-yard line. The catch good for 6 yards, but now it's 3rd and goal. That tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL.
Yeah, you're getting... Really terrific athletes. A lot of them maybe were wide receivers at one point. They continue to give you speed, great hands, and big bodies, which make them excellent targets for quarterbacks.
And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. A 4-yard pickup, not enough. 4th down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a 1st down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks.
Let's go.
They'll try and throw for him with Roethlisberger. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. In for the score. And the Steelers are able to strike for 6.
This has to be great for the psyche of this offense. Presented with bad field position, they didn't let it stop them. They rolled downfield and scored a touchdown.
Chris Boswell now for the extra point. Oh, how about this? No good. Just his 2nd miss of the year, and our score will stay right where it is. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. Oh, look at that.
Oh, look at him turn.
And not a particularly good return here as they'll be forced to start at the 12-yard line.
Well, conventional football 101, get it back to the 20-yard line on a kickoff return, that's a disappointment. But some of these special teams coaches, with approval by the head coach, they give them full authority to go ahead and bring it out and try to be aggressive, almost what we call the green light, red light theory. Green light means go, red light means stop. Looks like he had green on that play.
Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 12-yard line. They'll throw on 1st down with Jackson. And his throw here's incomplete. T.J. Watt, first-round pick a year ago there defensively for Pittsburgh.
Let's give some credit to the defensive guys on that play. Able to bat that one away. Sure looked like they were trying to hit the corner route.
On 2nd down, Collins. And a very short pickup there across the 15 to the 16. It's a gain of about 3, but it's going to leave him with 3rd and still 7 yards to go.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. And he works it across the 25 before being tackled. His first catch there, good for 10 yards and a 1st down. Now Jackson on 1st down. He's going to dump that off to his running back, Montgomery. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. It's a 4-yard pickup, and that'll make it a 2nd down.
So many times you hear today's NFL describe get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
They go play action now. Jackson looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Collins. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs.
It's funny, throughout the time that we've been together, when we talk with running backs about the ability to catch the ball, their eyes light up when they talk about open field and having one-on-one matchups, don't they?
Yeah, they do. And that's the reason why. What we just saw, shedding those tackles, and that's what they're used to doing.
It is, and it starts at the beginning of the play. One-on-one matchup with someone trying to cover them, but they also like those one-on-ones downfield after the catch when they're running with the ball. They think they're going to win those, too. What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
I would say it'd probably be a good idea for him to reintroduce himself to his receivers at the half because they're definitely on different wavelengths. But I also don't advocate waiting that long. Next series, before you get out there, hey, let's get together, guys.
And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going to go down. Bud Dupree in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year.
Well, someone's closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. Big Ben and the Steelers with a 1st and 10 at about the 32. From the gun, it's Roethlisberger. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. A gain of 6 there on 1st. They're going to have to do something with him. He was so sensational last week, over 200 yards. AFC Offensive Player of the Week, what do? You hold him?
That's a good start as long as you can get away with it. Otherwise, just giving up penalties and free plays for the offense. But I think you've got to do a combination of things. Chip it his timing at the line of scrimmage, have extra people in the territory for him. You've got to do everything and change it up from snap to snap.
Marlon Humphrey with the tackle defensively. On 3rd down, it's Connor, and he brings this up to the 46, good enough for the 1st. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive. Here's Connor. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. They run with Connor. And across midfield he goes into Raven territory. And still about 3 yards shy of a first as the 4-yard pickup brings it to third down.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
Now a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. And he can't hang on to it. Nearly picked. He's known for his hands defensively, but instead it just brings up fourth down. And this offense has converted twice already here in this first half on fourth down conversions. And here we go again. Now it's Roethlisberger. This is Reese on the ground. Well, they deemed it 4-down territory, and they got 4 yards to pick up the first. A couple of first downs has the football positioned at the 43 as they come up 1st and 10. Now it's Roethlisberger. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. A gain of 6 there on first. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. To throw again is Roethlisberger. Quick hitter here, it's complete. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down. On 3rd and 1, it's Roethlisberger. And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. And he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. The completion there winds up a wash, and it'll bring up 4th down. They're going on 4th down. It's Roethlisberger. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. They only got a couple, but a couple's all that they needed as they convert on 4th.
Let's go!
The hitch route works. It's something you see quite a bit on 3rd, 4th down in these situations, and they got it to go for.
And what you're counting on is a couple of things. One, you want the guy catching that route to make people miss right away, almost like a punt returner. And 2, you're expecting to pick up some blocks once he gets to the 2nd level, able to get downfield. And on that play, everything came together.
Two minutes remain here in the first half. We're back to Baltimore after this. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Now Roethlisberger to throw on 2nd down. It's complete to Cruz. An agile move and a nice gain, then dropped at the 25-yard line. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or
better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
Man open left side is Brown. And he will have a first down at about the 21-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 4, good enough to earn him yet another first down.
And that one was a lot of fun right there because that was the game within the game. 3rd and short, blitz was on. What's the key for the quarterback? Get out of your hands in a hurry. And that was a quick little completion. Got the job done for a first down.
They'll throw on first down with Roethlisberger. Over the middle here to Brown. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. The passing game in rhythm right now for Pittsburgh. There's another first down. Charles, you think Big Ben is happy to have Antonio Brown on the other side of his passes?
You know he is, but he also expects it. This is how their offense runs best. When those two get together, especially early, and continue to do it throughout the game, the end result is the one we're seeing right now. They're ahead on the board.
It has been early and often. And now we'll get a late timeout as it comes in the waning moments of quarter number 2. Ben to throw again. And caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. As his guys are in for 6, and the Steelers are going to add on to their lead.
That's one of the better examples of clock management I've seen. Whittled it all the way down just about and still put the ball in the end zone.
Yeah, just a methodical drive and something really to take into the lockers here. Boswell for the extra point. This time, the extra point up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. And what a drive that was. 16 plays all told. And it ends with a Pittsburgh touchdown. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Here comes Montgomery now to return it. And now running right through it. So we've reached the intermission in what right now is a 13-point game. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, all right, Brandon, thank you very much. Hi again, everyone. Let's get you caught up with what's going on around the NFL as we are officially into the second half of the season. We'll begin by jetting up to Orchard Park. Buffalo hosting visiting Chicago from the NFC. And in the second quarter, it's the Bears who are out in front. 2 touchdown passes there for Mitchell Trubisky. From there, we'll head down to Charlotte to check on the Panthers at home at Bank of America Stadium. And they've got the lead in their matchup with the Tampa Bay Bucks. Cam Newton with a couple of touchdown passes there. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. So time for the second half as the Steelers have the lead, and they will also be receiving the football here to start the third quarter. This one fielded at the 5. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. The Steeler offense now with a football first here to begin the third quarter. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that.
And they get to him with the pressure as Roethlisberger goes down. C.J. Mosley in there to get him his second sack now of the afternoon.
They need to stop to get back into this game, and here's one right to start the third quarter.
Yeah, anytime you go to the lockers with that 2-3 score deficit, you're right. You need that stop, get the football back, and they've done just that.
Series to series, play to play.
And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30.
And after that type of a run, there's some talking going on down on the field, but it's not trash talking. The guy who just carried the ball, he's going back and telling his offensive line, great job, keep it up, and we'll break that one soon.
Open man, Smith-Schuster, it's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. And they're able to convert on third with a solid gain of 23. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful you're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Terrell Suggs in there to get him. And that's sack number 6 for him on the year. Now Ben on third and long. Over the middle, hauled in by Smith-Schuster. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. They do get 9, but it leads to fourth down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches.
And how about this, a fake? And this is incomplete. A huge gamble, and it does not pay off. They fake the punt. It doesn't work out.
Anytime a fake doesn't work, we usually focus our attention on the guys that were unsuccessful. But how about the defensive guys? They have to plan all week. They have to prepare all week. Special teams, it looked like they were educated for that one.
Educated on their toes and getting a big stop. The Ravens offense getting ready now for their first possession of the second half. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out.
Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 46. T.J. Watt in there to get him, and that is sack number 15 for him on the year.
I know there would be a little bit of criticism there because they went right back to the air after the huge pickup and end up getting sacked. That's often a play that you make. You feel like you've got momentum on your side.
Unfortunately, the O-line failed to hold up to try to keep that momentum going. They'll get a couple yards back, but not more than that. They'll be left with 12 yards to go on third down.
Well, they still have time to get them established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
This will be caught by Brown. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's fourth down.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up, keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first. Now the Steelers offense gets ready to get back onto the field. Big Ben and the Steelers with a 1st and 10 at the 20. The drive will start with Connor. He'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 23.
If you're looking for glory, looking to get your name in the headlines, you do not want to play nose tackle. But how about what we just saw there? The ability to hold people up, take on extra blocks, and actually slip them and make a tackle on that play. That's big time.
They stay on the ground. Here's Connor again, and he'll get this one up to the 26. 3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting third and about 4 to go.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
Roethlisberger to his big target, James, all 6-7 of him for a Steeler first down. Throwing now, Roethlisberger on first down. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. And on the ground they go with a running back. And not much room to operate as he'll get this up only to about the 41. Only a yard on the pickup there, so it leaves them needing a conversion here on third and a tough 9.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Going down the middle, and it's complete. He's been big. 2 touchdowns earlier. Now he's got a first down here. You know, when I see passes like that, I'm reminded of something you and I talked about yesterday. Big Ben was a wide receiver the first 3 years of high school, sitting behind the coach's son. And then he finally got that opportunity. I think he's made the most of it.
It's always the coach's son, isn't it? But you know where it helps him? When he looks downfield, he knows what the receivers are going to do. He actually has wide receivers' eyes when he's throwing the ball. But sometimes you just have to take things into your own hands, don't you? I mean, the offense is really struggling in this game. They're the ones keeping things going. They have to continue to play at that level.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Brandon Carr there to make the stop. This will be the 8th play of the drive. It's 3rd and 7. Again, it's Connor. And an alley to run. And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. Pittsburgh getting 16 yards there and also a first down. From the red zone now, here's Roethlisberger on first down. Throw left side, complete to Smith-Schuster. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. On second down, here's Roethlisberger. Toward the sideline, he will have the first down. Good catch. He was able to keep the feet in bounds. 7 yards on the pickup there, and now they've got it first and goal.
If you're running out route, it's likely you're going to end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. He'll get only 2 there, and it's second and goal. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height, sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there if he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback who has to slide and find open space to throw.
Roethlisberger will throw. Rush coming, and he's taken down. C.J. Mosley able to disrupt yet another pass play, his 3rd sack of the afternoon. Roethlisberger, and he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. Antonio Brown, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Steelers find a way to stretch their lead.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. Very precise, methodical. That's one of the words you've taught me. And they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the 3rd quarter.
Not only pulling away, but you mentioned that slowly but surely. You also drain clock, too, with a drive like that. So you really give yourself an advantage.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting. Play action is supposed to be used to slow down pressure, slow down blitzes. In this case, though, if it takes a little too long to develop, you got people right in your face.
And lucky just to get rid of the ball with the arm going forward. Could have been a fumble. Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well.
I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. On third down, Jackson. He's going to sling this deep downfield. Oh, he may have gotten lucky. Tried to dump it off underneath on the check down. Nearly picked. Instead, it's incomplete. Another drive comes and goes. Still nothing on the scoreboard.
Yeah, and when the second half comes, you know, it's real easy to get discouraged and wonder if you're ever going to get things started. You just got to fight through it. Got to keep pounding away.
3-19!
They'll indeed go for it with Jackson. And that is caught one-handed. Oh, my, he pulled it in. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Michael Crabtree, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Ravens cut into that lead. Wow, talk about a big 4th down conversion for the score. Defensively, how do you let that happen?
I think you start with the offense, and you give them credit for going for it and having that type of, well, let's face it, audacity. But defensively, I think you're right on target, partner. There's no way something like that's supposed to happen in that situation. You're supposed to be able to shut that down and get the ball back for your own team. Instead, they give up not just a big play, but a touchdown.
This one fielded at the 5. He's got the lane, and there he goes. And he's in for 6 and a Steeler touchdown. In for the score. And the Steelers are going to add on to their lead. I know a lot of special teams coaches, they just want to keep it away from him because that's what he can do.
And others have egos that their players can't keep up with. And they say, challenge him, kick it to him. The way he runs as fast as he is, I wouldn't challenge him at all. I'd do everything possible to keep it away.
He is just a blur when he gets a full head of steam, and he got a full head of steam there. So now the other return teams out there as they'll try to duplicate what they just saw. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. Oh, look at the juke. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2 minute. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do.
An incomplete, crisis averted. Almost picked. Instead, second down.
Well, he did almost everything right. Excellent coverage, breaks on the football, just unable to haul it in and take it the other way. So he dropped an interception. The key for him now, don't dwell on it. Just move on to the next play.
Again on 2nd and 10, it's Jackson. Pressure comes and the Steelers take him down. T.J. Watt in there to drop him, and he continues to wreak havoc in offensive backfield. Sack number 16 on the year.
He's the NFL sack leader coming into the game, and now that's 2 more that he's added to his total.
He wants some separation from spot 1 and 2 in that sack category. He's going to float this one deep, and the defense loses him. It's complete. All the way in for a Ravens touchdown. John Brown, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Ravens get a bit closer. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions, and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
This will be fielded at the 6. Gets around him. Oh, and now he bowls him over. And he'll be out of bounds across the 25. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. Big Ben and the Steelers with a 1st and 10 at their own 27. And, Charles, you'd have to think this is where you want to start taking some time off the clock.
Oh, definitely, because you got the lead, right? You take a good look up there and you say, okay, what do we need to do here? Well, you're not in full-out protect mode. You want to make sure you run it, throw it safe, take some time off, and eat it up.
On 2nd down, Roethlisberger. He's going to let this one go deep. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And he just falls short down at the 1-yard line. A big play that time for Pittsburgh. And even 70 yards.
Tell the truth, partner. You didn't think he was coming down with that one, did you? Come on, tell me the truth.
No, I didn't. I'll tell you what, though. A one-handed grab with that length. Talk about giving your team a little juice.
Oh, big time. I mean, everyone's going to be excited about that one, whether you're on the field or not. It permeates its way through the entire team, and I can't wait to see what they do on the next down.
Another shot from the 1 on 2nd and goal. Here's Roethlisberger. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Now we've got 3rd and goal coming up, and couldn't you imagine being in that huddle, partner? You know they're looking at each other saying, we can't come away with just 3 points after this drive.
Yeah, they've covered a lot of ground. They want more than that 3. Now it's counter, and a nice move will yield nothing as he's stopped behind the line. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1. 4th down. Here's Roethlisberger. And he's going to go down just outside of the 5, right around the 6-yard line. He had 3 touchdowns already, but won't get a 4th here. And the Ravens come up big down at their own goal line. A breakdown by the O-line at the worst possible time. 4th and goal, and it leads to a sack.
I can just see it now. On the sidelines, they're telling the quarterback, you've got to get...
Michael Crabtree's going to go. He's at the 40, the 30, past the 20. And at the end of it, he's stripped. Ball comes loose. And it looks like Steeler football. It is. Back now in Baltimore. It's Steeler football, and they have the lead as well as we begin quarter number 4. They start with a give to counter. They'll try to get forward, but he's going to be stopped in his tracks at about the 3. Calling no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bifema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. Now Roethlisberger down around his goal line. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And that is going to be pulled in one-handed. Wow. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Big Ben with his 4th touchdown pass of the afternoon. And the Steelers find a way to stretch their lead. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning, right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
Extra point now by Boswell. Extra point put through by Boswell. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And it ends with the Steelers finding the end zone. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Here comes Montgomery now to return it. The Ravens offense now, they get set to head back on the field. And they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown. That's a no-no. We'll see what they do here this go-around.
A big no-no. Put that in capital letters. Turning it over, the other team takes it down and scores. That can be a deflator for a football team. Now it's up to the offense to get back out on the field and pick things up.
Now, they're out there. We'll see if they can pick those things back up. On 1st and 10, it's Jackson. And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going down.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
And his throw's going to be incomplete. He was trying to get it to Michael Crabtree there. And it's 3rd down. He started out having some troubles back in the first half connecting with his receivers. Really hasn't gotten a whole lot better.
Yeah, he's at less than 50%, and you and I both know that just won't do. So I would think about spreading things out, putting it on the receivers, make them win those one-on-one battles on the perimeter and find their way open.
Jackson, he uncorks it for Snead. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man-on-man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
Hurry up, here we go.
Now on fourth down, we've got a whistle here and a timeout. That's going to leave them with just one remaining here in this fourth quarter. Here's Sam Cook now. He's been terrific so far. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone. Come back to the 20. Out comes the Steeler offense now, ready to see what they can do here. Last time they were out here, they had the benefit of good field position, led to a touchdown. This time, they're going to have to work for it.
They are, but with that last drive that culminated in a touchdown, I think they carry that confidence into this one. Doesn't matter where you start with the football now, they have to feel great about their opportunity.
It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the fourth quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, break 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow him down.
And he'll get across the 20, but only to about the 22-yard line. Give him 3 yards on the run there. That still leaves him with a difficult 3rd and 8 coming up. And they'll go on the ground. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end.
Now they're going to fake it from deep in their own territory. And this is going to come up well short as they stop him on 4th down. A little trickeration there, but it doesn't fool them. It's such a risky play there to fake it. You're either the hero or the GOAT. Here they're going to be the GOAT.
Unfortunate, too, because you know they thought they had something there. They don't call it just to call it. They don't just say, oh, what the heck, let's go ahead and fake it here. They feel like they've got something on. They've got the defense in the right spot. Just unsuccessful in that opportunity.
9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
They pitch it out to Collins. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And that'll lead here to a 3rd down. Throwing is Jackson. This will be caught at about the 5. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Now it's Jackson. Forced out to his left. And his throw is incomplete.
And that's a tough throw for a right-handed quarterback, rolling out to his left and trying to get the ball to a receiver. We've seen all those drills where they're trying to get the shoulders square and point it towards the target downfield.
Collins now the lone man in the backfield, 2nd and goal. And they will take a knee here. And yet again, this run game just continues to be completely shut off.
Completely stymied. I mean, they're trying to get some consistency, trying to find places to roam. They just haven't been there throughout this game.
Here we go now. 3,
3rd and goal, Jackson. And down he goes. Pressure gets him back at the 14. A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on 4th down.
Delay of game, offense.
play clock hit 0. Don't know what went wrong there, Charles, but it's going to cost them 5 yards.
Has to be some organization from the sideline. Sometimes when you're trying to decide on what play to send in, the play caller has to move a little bit faster.
Here we go now.
Here we go. It's Jackson on 4th down. And it is incomplete. They can't hook up here on the 4th down pass attempt. And this Steeler defense able to come up with a stop. Well, their first 4th down attempt earlier was successful. This one backfires for a turnover on downs.
I like their aggressiveness. I like what they're doing. They got it the first time they went for it. Why not a second time? I don't think they'll be daunted from attempting it again. If you're on the defensive side of the ball, though, any 4th down stop is a big momentum play.
And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he can even get started. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13.
Yeah, let me puff out my chest a little bit, even though I'm not rooting for either team. That was a really nice defensive play. It's awfully fun to watch, even in an offensive game.
To throw here, Roethlisberger. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down. He's played a great game. It continues right there, even with this lead, confident to throw the pass and have the reception made.
There's no doubt who the leader of their team is there? There's no doubt who they want to ride all the way to the finish, because strategy would tell you run the football, run the clock down. Instead, they're letting him throw it because they feel that confident in what he's getting done.
And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. And the Steelers getting another 1st down on a bit of a roll. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on 3rd down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. On 1st down, it's Roethlisberger. Throw left side, complete. It's James. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
That 1st down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he will be brought down at about the 43 that time. 3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting 3rd and about 4 to go. The completion on 1st didn't get much, and now the run on 2nd doesn't get a whole lot either.
Well, if you're a good play caller, you've already looked ahead and anticipated this type of situation. Already down on his play sheet, trying to dial up a big 3rd down play.
And defensively going with a dime set. 6 DBs on 3rd and 4. From the gun, it's Roethlisberger. This is Reese on the ground. And he gets it down to the 48, enough for the 1st. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive. On 1st and 10, it's Roethlisberger. He sets to fire deep. And that one falls incomplete. Looked like he might have had position there, but he couldn't hold on at 2nd down.
Well, he'd been targeted quite a bit on this drive, and finally I think the guys on the defensive side, they said no more. They slapped the double coverage on him, made it very tough for him to get the ball.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down.
Snickers! Snickers! Set! 230!
From the shotgun, it's Roethlisberger. He's going to wind up in there. Oh, wide open, complete. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. How about Ben Roethlisberger, his 5th touchdown pass of the afternoon, and the Steelers are going to add on to their lead. And on that one, able to catch it, also able to have the wherewithal to take it in for the score.
And how about the phases of a successful catch and a completion of a play? Look the ball in, secure the catch, and then, of course, the run after the catch that ends up in the end zone.
Boswell for the extra point. Oh, they flip it to the kicker. He looks like he's going to throw it. Try to drop one in, but it's incomplete.
Partner, that type of a lead, and they're going to fake it from the 15 to try and pick up a 2-point play instead of kicking it through the post. Come on, man. Put that in mothballs. Come on. Come on. Don't do that.
Put that in mothballs?
Yeah, preserve that for it. That's an ancient relic, faking it. I can understand you want to rub it in a little. You fake it when you snapped it from the 3. But from the 15, mothball that bad boy, just like my grandmother had.
Yeah,
in her attic, the stuff she used to preserve.
It smelled terrible. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Here comes Montgomery now to return it. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And last time they were very fortunate, this offense. They went for it on 4, turned it over in their own territory, but the other guys held up. They didn't give up any points.
So how about the guy with the #1 headset on the sidelines, the head coach? That was planned going into it, not necessarily to not get the first down or to have the defense have to hold up.
But he trusted his defense.
Trusted his defense very much, and I think that's how he's going to play this game. Go for it, be aggressive, because I've got the wild bunch backing me up over here on my own sideline.
Well, we'll see what his offense can do.
Holding offense.
That hold coming from the middle of the line, the center.
And it's difficult for him because sometimes you've got people right over you, and as soon as you snap it, trying to get your hands up and block them, you can be a little bit late getting it done.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty.
Detroit!
From the gun, Jackson. Flushed out right. And they're able to bring him down at the 20. Only 2 yards on the completion at 2nd down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Jackson now. Crabtree the target on that one, and it's 3rd down.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. A right side catch by Crabtree. Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Pittsburgh's offense now heading back out onto the field. They have the big cushion. Here in the final stages of this one, I don't know if there's any better feeling than being up big on the road.
There really can't be, because for a team to go on the road and win in the NFL, that's huge to begin with. But just think about all the preparation that went into it. When they first started talking about this game, leading up to it during the week, going on the road, unfamiliar city, obviously, unfamiliar hotel. No one's going to be with you once you get to the stadium. They're all going to be against you. You name it, all those things they had to deal with, they were able to conquer them and do it convincingly.
Yeah, they did it very convincingly, and now the final moment. He'll be wrapped up around the waist and pushed down. Javon Hargrave in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. Now Jackson on 2nd down. Buying time to his left. Now the ball comes loose, and it looks like Steeler football. It is.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, you'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
Hey, a lot of points have been scored in this game, but what a nice play by the defense. Stepping up on that one, maybe they'll get things going in their direction after a play like that.
Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. Now it's the backup Rudolph. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And he almost intercepted it. They haven't picked a ball off yet. That probably should have been their first. And it's 3rd down now. 4th quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
Now Ben on 3rd and long. He's going to loft one. And got his man complete. He's at the 30, 10. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. I tell you, Charles, you play to the final whistle, I get that. But there are a few folks that might not be too happy with that score late in the game with it already well in hand.
You seem a little squeamish about that last score.
I struggle with this one. I struggle. But on the other, the argument, I get it, on the other side is, hey, do something about it. Stop them.
I'll guarantee you, I know who was really excited. Fantasy owners who
Yeah.
had them. Hey, listen, get the points for me. They're not worried about hurt feelings or anything like that. That's just new age stuff.
Up big, and they go for 2, and they get it.
I remember being in high school and seeing an article in the paper where a local columnist had said, why are we fighting over sportsmanship and running up the score? Just run it up on everybody and deal with it. Some people just don't care that way, and obviously this coach feels the exact same way.
So that article is saying the defense should be able to stop them.
That's what they're trying to say. Hey, if you don't want it to happen, stop them. Otherwise, quit whining about it.
And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo
exactly.
going forward.
Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling again.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
Now Jackson back into his end zone. Under pressure, and down he goes in the end zone, and that's a safety. Things are just going from bad to worse now. It's a safety that does him in here, and that is one frustrated offensive unit.
They can't get out from under their own shadow right now. I mean, I know this is the NFL, but could you imagine a college crowd right now? Imagine what they'd be doing. They'd be chanting, start the bus, because they think this one is over.
They will throw it here with Rudolph. And the defense loses him. It's complete. The 20. And he takes it in for the score on the game's final play, so it doesn't affect the outcome, but a little whipped cream on top to their ending.
Or as our friends in Bayou country would say, that's a little lagniappe, a little extra on top. When he was a Cowboy at Oklahoma State, he was a threat to do this all the time from any part on the field. He'll still be a threat in the NFL. Mason Rudolph's big right arm delivers his first NFL touchdown.
And no, it falls incomplete. So the two-point conversion, no good. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking.